Hey. Okay, hello everyone. Apparently there's no picture. Let me fix that. What is this? Oh, that sounds better. Looks better. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright, that works now. Okay. Hello everyone. Let me reset this focus thing. Okay. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to this week's stream. It's not even late at this point. I was supposed to start like 1 hour and 20 minutes ago, but I had an errand that ran late. So I thought I'll be streaming later today and just, shifting the whole thing down my day. It's going to be also more useful to people who are in the US, for example, in the UTC minus something. So there's that. And also, I'm kind of tired, so I don't think I'm gonna make it last very long. So we'll see. All right, hello everyone. Let me reorder my screen because since the last stream, I moved to KDE. So I'm now using KDE, which is cool. That's not. Yeah, I'm not sure you can read it. Yeah, you can see my screen at the moment, right? You can only see my face. So, right, let me close all those superfluous windows. All right, there's the stream here. Okay, here I can start the easy fixes page. Even though I'm not sure I'm going to be doing the fixes today, we'll see. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good now. Let me move those tabs to the right place. Okay. Yeah, there's been quite a few changes to my environment. That's why I'm a bit lost. Okay, where is this again? Right, that should do it. How bad that now? Yeah, you should see my screen. Okay, you see my screen. That's good. Also, it's very hot in France today, so I'm gonna eat some ice cream. So there's been quite a few changes to my desktop, but that's really not very interesting to you unless you want to have my point of view on the latest KDE. Pretty good. Very good. And my point of view is that it's pretty good. And I'm not only talking about the ice cream right now. And I mean, I'm happy to be back on KDE. It's been a long while since I've used that on as my daily driver, and I've used KDE since basically KDE 2. So I've used it for like 10 years, and then stopped and moved to GNOME about 10 years ago. Yep, it's good. It's a very good piece of code. So well done, props to the team who managed to do that. It's really impressive. I'm not sure I'll stay on KDE for now because I don't want to make any promises. There's a lot of work on Fedora that has been done towards GNOME, so I might also want to check that out. So we'll see. But I thought, yeah, Plasma 6 was a good opportunity to try what's new. All right, so this week I've been mostly working on badges, to be honest, trying to fix the bottlenecks that are currently preventing all the messages from going through at a decent rate. Right now there's a ton of messages in the queue. If I look at the RabbitMQ queue, it's at 6. Oh, it increased again. It's at 600,000 messages, and it should be impiling them quicker than that. But the problem right now is that Datanommer is being a little bit overloaded by some of the some of the conversion that I'm running. So I have this screen. This is the output of the badges consumer, and if I look at Datanommer, that's the staging Datanommer. Yeah. Is that the prod Datanommer? No, that's the future, the next Datanommer. It's not currently production, but we're going to try to move it to a new server this week, well, next week, hopefully, and hopefully it'll be better from a load perspective. Right now, it is not atrociously loaded because I've disabled one of the big script that I've run, to update the usernames in badges, well, in Datanommer, the username associated with messages. And I needed to run that because there's been a long while when we've run Datanommer without the schema, without the Fedora messaging schema. So it couldn't extract the usernames from the messages it was receiving. And now that it has a schema, I want to make a pass over all the messages to extract the usernames again and fill the database with it if there's any. So so right now there's a lot of queries to Datanommer that are slow, and I'm not sure why. Oh, well, I know why. Okay, I know why. Okay, so there's an optimization in Datanommer. Let me show you the code for that. That's definitely not the code for, oh yeah, that's because it's on the wrong screen. Okay, there it is. So in Datanommer, in fedbadges, so when the badges consumer, when there's an incoming message, we want to make sure that the message has already been stored by Datanommer. And that is because then we're going to make queries to Datanommer to, for example, find out the number of messages that are similar in the history of Fedora. So we want the last one to be counted already, so we can make our threshold and assumptions. So we're waiting for Datanommer to have received the message. And that can take, we're waiting maximum of 5 seconds, making queries to Datanommer. The thing is, we're testing messages that we're only looking at messages that have come in since yesterday. And I think that when our database queue or our message queue is 600,000 messages long, the next message I'm going to receive has probably been sent longer than 1 day ago. So what I'm going to do is stop hindering all the other messages or all the other processes that are using the message queue and just purge it. I'm going to purge this queue, and as a result, messages that will be coming in are going to be from right now, and all the badges that should have been awarded by the message that were in this queue that I just purged, the badges will be awarded next time there's a similar message coming in, because it's going to look at the history of the message in Datanommer, and it will find whatever has been sent through. That's just the queue for the badges consumer, so it's fine. If you want to get, like if there was something that you should have gotten, just do the same thing again. It's going to send the same message and it's going to work. Hello people from Full Stack Live. How are you doing? Hey, nice to see you here. Big Fedora fan, yay! Absolutely. So I've just started actually. I do those streams earlier in the day usually. So I don't know about you, Full Stack Live. What are you doing usually? What are you streaming on? I'm kind of new to Twitch actually. It's only been a couple of months and I haven't dug a lot into it. So what I'm showing right now is the state of the message queue for the badges consumer. So in Fedora, we have a system where contributors are awarded badges when they do certain actions that we want to encourage, such as packaging something, testing a package, testing an update, building things, etc. And those all the actions in Fedora are sent through a message bus, and then there's a consumer to this message bus that listens to everything and looks at incoming messages. It has rules that are linked to badges. So for example, it looks at all the packages that you've built, that your username has built in the past. And it's just going to count them. And if it reaches a certain threshold, it's going to award you a badge. So I'm a grey bit SRE doing mostly infra automation and Ruby coding. Nice. On Fridays, I do an office stream where I exclusive answers to your work. Oh, I answer. Okay, that's cool. I should do something like that actually. Just answering questions and just saying I don't know most of the time, which is fine. So the end result of this badges awarding thing is this website, I should say. Yeah, I don't know, or it depends. That's exactly that. So that's the page where where you can see who gets awarded badges, who have been awarded badges recently. You see that 38 minutes ago, somebody, it built automation, but I should disable that one. Let me disable that one. Blah, 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 blah. It should be in the configuration in theory, except it's not right now. Or is it? Yes. Yes. You don't need badges, you robot. Badges are for humans. So there's people who have been awarded badges right now. Here, there's first build failed. There's first successful build for someone who has tested updates to Fedora 10 times, that sort of thing. And you get nice artwork that you can link to your profile. For example, on my profile, there's all those badges that I've collected over the years. Yeah, some of them are about content, like things you edit on the website, for example. Some of them are about development, builds, testing, And there's community stuff as well, attending events, for example, helping out others, or being there for a long time, for example. All those sort of things. That's the testing. It's beautiful things. There's events also, like you can get badges for just being there at an event. That's pretty cool. And that's a way for the project to encourage people to do stuff, basically, and contribute to it. That's pretty useful. And behind the scenes, there's a RabbitMQ consumer, because like all the events that happen on Fedora go through RabbitMQ. We have a cluster of 3. And and there's a consumer that listens to all that and maps a set of rules to the incoming messages. And if it matches, and if you've been building something for 10 times, you get the badge, basically. this system has been in place for about 10 years. And unfortunately, while there's been a lot of new badges being designed, there hasn't been a lot of changes to the code itself that awards the badges. So we've reached a point recently where it wouldn't work on the latest version of Fedora and Enterprise Linux. So I've worked a little bit on it, and now it works, but there's a lot of things that have changed in the infrastructure around badges, and since it's connected to a lot of things, there's a lot of adjustment to make. And right now, it's not easily capable of reading all the messages coming in. And I'm trying to do adjustments to other parts of the infrastructure to make sure that it scales. For example, the database where we put all the history of all the messages, there's a lot of work to be done there. We currently make queries that are gigantic, that were okay 10 years ago, but are not anymore. We're querying like the, let me show you that. So data grepper, that's the system that helps, that lets people query the database, and that's the amount of messages that we have in the database right now. We have 340 million messages in this database, and that's really a lot for a system that on each incoming message is going to check the history of similar messages, basically. So we need to do a lot of optimizations and caching to make it work. And that's what I'm working on, basically. This ice cream is pretty good. Yes. All right. Okay, so now that it's done, so what I usually do on Fridays on this stream is going through all the bugs that have been flagged as easy fix in all the infrastructure applications that we have in Fedora, and try to fix one of them. That go slowly about it, like, explain what the application is about, how it's built, how you can get a development environment for this application. It's basically, it's usually Vagrant. So yeah, and how you go about running the tests, hacking on the code, the basics, basically. I'm not sure I'm gonna take the time to do that today because I started late and I'm kind of tired, honestly. So I think I'm just gonna go about the things that I was doing before and explain things as the questions come in. So I've purged the queue because it wasn't really capable of handling the load right now. Also, it's not entirely Badge's fault. It's also because I've run a consumer on a debug mode for a while and it stopped for some reason. And so the message have been accumulating in the queue and now it's been really too big. So it's not really entirely the code's fault. So what's the state of the database right now? That's much better. Okay, that's about the same load. And yeah, still see those queries. That's good. Okay. Let me see. What else do we have? Yeah, I want to run my script on my username extract script again. Oh, well, that's too bad. Yeah, the pod has been terminated for some reason, and I need to make a small change in there. because I would like to, yes, that's there. I'd like to log where we are at in the process so that I can start over from this day and not too early. Not go over the messages again, or we know that there's nothing there. Yes, that's where I wanted to make the change. So I'm going to print message dot timestamp. Okay, and now I'm going to run the script. That's going to, it's not going to end today, that's for sure. That's it. It was predicting. Wait, what? Oh no, that's definitely not what I want to do. I want to do Datanommer, yeah, this command here. And I want to start at 22. Yeah, so it was predicting a run of 165 days. So yeah, there's a lot of messages to go through. I just want to run that, make sure that it runs, and at some point it'll have reached the end of it. In the meantime, it's slowing badges down a little bit, unfortunately, but yeah, you can't have everything at the same time, I suppose. Right. I wonder if there's a lock in there. Anyway, so where is my consumer at this time? So if I look at RabbitMQ, yeah, I still have 5 consumers working on it. That's good. And yeah, the queue is starting to go up again, but that's because some of the consumers are blocked by a very big Datanommer query that I should be able to see on the Datanommer list of queries. So that's the easy ones, that's the recent ones. Well, they've been running, what time is it right now? Yeah, some of those are really old. Huh. I'm gonna kill them. Some of those are really, really old queries. I wonder, I don't know why they're still here. Something's wrong, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna kill those. So if you want to kill a query in PostgreSQL, that's the command for that. Well, there's a function you can use, and that is, let me find that again. No. PG terminate backend, that's the one. So I want to terminate this one. That's the PID that I want to terminate. Done. And there's probably, the next one has been running for too long for such a simple query. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Do we still have something extremely old here? Right. That shouldn't have been running for 5 minutes. Let's terminate it as well. That's going to save up some space. Goodbye. Okay, the rest looks recent enough. Oh, wait, no, that's extremely old, actually. That's 1 hour ago. Because, like, the server time is, what's the server time? 1446, okay. Yeah, okay, that's old. It's probably deadlocked somewhere. This one is old as well. Let me kill that. That's a rollback. Definitely not a problem. This one here. Ah, yeah, this one is a long query, but that's normal. That's just a very long query. Going over all the messages about an update to the a package update, basically. And looking at the ones that were done by a user. So yeah, it takes a while, but that's normal. Okay. So I see two of them for two different users. That's fine. It's actually a different topic as well. And here I see queries. Yeah, they're very big queries. And that's the one about my script going through all the messages and yep, and extracting the users and putting them back in the database. It's gonna take a while. Okay, so I think it's correct now. What's the load? 11. Yeah, that's okay. Definitely more than before. But I mean, yeah, I've probably unlocked. There was probably a lock on the table because of some queries that were there, have been there for way too long. So now it should be running again. Let me see what the consumer says. It's consuming, so good. It is going through messages. That's pretty good. Okay, what about the other consumers? They were on 4, I think. No, we're on 3. Yes. Okay, that disconnected. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, so I cut their query, so it crashed, of course, and then Kubernetes, well, OpenShift is restarting it, so all good. All right, it's running as expected. And let me see the queue is back to normal. All right, that's good. So I was working on something also. I was working on a way for a consumer, a Fedora messaging consumer, so a RabbitMQ consumer, to get the number of messages that are in a queue at a given time. Because I was thinking of implementing something that kind of looked like what we had before in fedmessage. And so I wanted to, so there's this time that the consumer waits for the message, to be inserted into Datanommer. But what I could do is that if this, look at the size of the queue on the server, and if it's big enough to be defined, then not wait for Datanommer at all, because I know that Datanommer doesn't have a lot of message in the queue. It's just getting them and putting them in PostgreSQL just as it gets them. So if I have like 1,000 messages in my queue for badges, or like maybe 10,000 messages, then I can be pretty sure that the message that I'm getting right now has indeed been sent a while ago. Oh, I could look at that actually. I could look at when the message was sent. Ah, that's even better. I could look at the header of the message and know and see when it was sent. What information do I have from this message actually? because I have the sent at header, and that's going to tell me when it was sent, but that's according to the sender. It's not really something that the RabbitMQ server sets. I would like to have something that is set by RabbitMQ, such as delivered timestamp something. Let me see if I can have that in the frames on RabbitMQ. Yeah, probably here. Consuming messages sounds like a good start. Message property and delivery metadata. That's perfect. Okay. Delivery identifier, that's fine. Redelivered, exchange routine, consumer tag. Okay. Message properties, mod, type, header, content type, content encoding, apply to expiration. Timestamp. Oh, that's application provided timestamp. Okay. So is this enforced by RabbitMQ, or is it just what the senders want to send, or wants to set? Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, I suppose. I could look at the sent at. Would that be a problem if it was set wrong by the sender? It's usually going to be Fedora messaging the library that sends it, so it should be set correctly because it's not under the control of the using application, but it might be sent in a different way. So I could say, okay, give me this sent at header. What is this timestamp? What's that? Is there a documentation for the MQP protocol frame? That's very likely, right? Protocols. MQP091. Yeah. Only PDF, really? Huh, I suppose. Okay, so channel, exchange, queue, basic, dot consume. Not great. Do I have anything better? Ah, that looks better. Ah, messages and content, that's the one. Okay. Where is the timestamp in there? Timestamps, okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Okay. How should I get that? MQP message timestamp. What do I get with this? Ah, MQP091 model explained. That's interesting. Message publishing timestamp, very well. I guess we can use that. Let's see, when I receive a message, so I have this test consumer that I was looking at previously. Where is it? Probably here, yes. So there was this, I wasn't looking at this one, I was looking at watch, I suppose, or get current. Oh yeah, yeah indeed, okay, cool. So there's message.queue here. I would like to see message.headers. I know there's headers. So where are my properties actually? Underscore properties dot headers. That's the one. Good. So I'm going to display. First, I'm going to display my headers. Then I'm going to display my properties. And just do that. That's going to connect to staging, and it's going to get all the messages that it can. That's fine. I don't need more. So what do I have in my properties? I have delivery mode, headers. That's the headers. That's where I get my sent at, by the way. You see it. Sent at, and there's this here. And then there's X received from. And I don't really need that. Cluster name, message ID. Okay, I do not see a timestamp in there. Which means that the only timestamp that I have is the sent at header that is under the control of the sender. It's pretty much like a date header in an email, you know. That's okay. Which means I understand this poorly. There's the remote message publishing timestamp. I thought it would be there. Like there's content type, content encoding. Redelivered. Okay, message ID. Maybe it's only in the frame and it's not really visible here. So let's look at the code that gets the message. That is going to be in twisted protocol. Where is the part that consumes? Consume. Okay. create a consumer instance, which is from dot consumer. Okay, that's where. Okay, fine. So I get the basic consume here. I have the queue object. Let me show you what I have from here. Print queue object and whatever is there that I didn't really care for before. Let's see what I get from here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the closable default queue. Okay, that's definitely not what I thought I would be getting. That's only the queue object. Okay, and now I run read on the queue object. Okay, yeah, queue object is, okay, got it. Read one, okay. Channel, delivery frame, properties, body, that's exactly what I already know. Okay, that's good. And there it converts the message using the routing key. Properties and body. Okay, so channel, indeed, I do not care. But I want to have a look at the entire delivery frame. Okay, so print delivery frame properties. Right now, I don't care about the body so much. Let's see what I have from here. Okay, so I'm seeing this. That's definitely not obvious. I'm not sure what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, so. What's going on here? New keyboard. So hard. Yes. What's... Oh, yeah, much better. Okay, so frame. Show me that and show me the representation. Props and properties. Let's see what I have from the bus. Let's see what the bus gives me. Ooh, didn't expect it to do that. That's fine. Okay, so I have the frame here. Good. Basic delivery. I get the consumer tag. That's fine. Delivery tag. Okay. Routing key. Basic deliver. Okay. Delivery tag. I don't think I have a timestamp in there. Yep. I don't. Okay. So I think the only property that I can use is sent at. It's fine. I suppose I can make use of that. If the sent at is too old, then don't bother checking Datanommer. I can do that. So how would I do this in the consumer? That's going to be here. So right now it's waiting for Datanommer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's okay. I'm setting yesterday. That's good. If no, so okay, sent at is message dot headers dot get sent at. That's how it's called, right? I know that I'm accessing a private attribute here, underscore header. It's not great. It's definitely not great. But I can make that public in the message API. That's good. Just gonna need a new version of Fedora messaging. So right now we're doing that. Get sent at, okay. If sent at is not none and sent at is older than yesterday, right, sent at is actually, that's actually a string, right? So I'm gonna have to convert it. Date time dot date. Ooh. Dot from ISO format, because it's ISO formatted. Okay, if I have a sent at and it's older than yesterday, then just, you know, don't wait for Datanommer. And actually, I don't need to wait for that long. I mean, I can have a much shorter threshold, like say 1 hour or I can wait like a minute ago. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Datanommer have a queue so big that it will take more than a minute to process one message, right? Or yeah, so a minute ago. I hate repeating myself. If the message has been sent more than a minute ago, then I don't need to check it. If not, then I'm going to look at the recent messages and make sure that it's there. Well, maybe 1 minute looks short, but 10 minutes ago. That's pretty... Nah, maybe it's a little bit wasteful. Let's do a minute ago. What happens if I'm wrong and Datanommer doesn't have the message actually? Then I'm not gonna check it. And then when I'm computing the number of builds that a user has done, I'm gonna be off by 1. Because I'm going to look at the history of messages in the database, and I'm going to not see my current message. So, but I think it's a fair optimization. That's gonna save. Yeah, that's probably gonna help Datanommer go faster when it's under load, which is a good thing. We want that. Like there's 1 minute for Datanommer to process a message. Well, we give 1 minute for Datanommer to process a message. I think that's sufficient, right? Sounds sufficient. Okay, that's good. Let's keep that. Okay. Yeah, sorry. That's good. All right. Okay, that's good. Let's do this. And if I deploy that, oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay. So I think that's probably better than trying to get the number of messages in the queue and assume. Yeah, I think that's probably better than getting the number of messages of the queue. Like that's what fedmessage did before. It was looking at the number of messages in the queue, and if it was too big, then it was assuming that Datanommer would have processed it already. But I mean, the time is fine too. Okay. I like the fact that it's going to adapt to the load of the badges processor. Okay, so let me save that and push it to production. I know, crazy. Where am I? I'm here. So what change did I make? This change, okay, that's good. Yeah, there's also OS build automation bot that I can ignore. And there's an additional message schema. Okay, so let's do different things. Ignore this lad. Okay. Don't check Datanommer if the message is old enough. I haven't tested that properly, but we'll see. If I made a typo somewhere, that's gonna crash horribly, but it's okay. Yeah, here, for example, yeah, there's something that I could do better. Here, I'm going to convert it. So I should do that. Try sent at equal the conversion here. Because if the format, the value is wrong, I'm pretty sure it's a value error, but I'm gonna check that. Sent at is none. Yeah, that's probably safer. Save it. Let me check that. So what if I do import datetime? Oh wait, did I import the thing properly at the top? Datetime, yeah. Import datetime, datetime that from ISO format, random stuff. What happens? Value error. Okay, perfect. What if I pass it? If I pass it none, maybe. Type error, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm looking at none already, right? Am I? Or am I not? I'm not. Well, or I should just do. Should I just do a care maybe? Like because I could say, okay, you know, just get it And there might be a key error in there. So that's going to work if I do, for example, A, B, and I do D of B, and that's going to give me a key error. That's good. So this should work. If the sent at header is absent, it's going to raise a key error. I'm going to catch it here. If the sent at header exists, but it's weird, it's a type error, or if it's not really the right format, it's going to be a value error. So I'm getting everything. Do I want to be pedantic and sort that by name? Absolutely, I do want to be pedantic. All right. Amend this. Thank you. And what's the last change? Oh yes, proprietary lock no update, because I need to regenerate the lock file. Okay. Add a schema package. Cool. Wait, what's my log? Do it. Okay. Now I've pushed that to the stable branch, and as a result, it's going to rebuild it. Logs -f bc fedbadges. It's currently building it. Thanks to the wonder that are webhooks. Very cool. I'm gonna detach this chat and put it here. And keep it on top. Thank you very much. Nice. So that I can go back here, and yeah, of course, and also on all desktops. Cool. Okay, we're getting there. All right. I'm gonna have a look at what you do with full stack live. That seems interesting. Okay, so it's building, and hopefully we're going to get a new version soonish. That's my tests. Okay, it's been pushed. And hopefully that's going to be faster at handling the load of incoming messages. Because there, yeah, since we are rebuilding the thing, it's going up and up and up. There's only 4 consumers now, and I expect them to be all stuck. What are they doing right now? They're probably stuck on a request. Yeah, they're stuck on a query here. You can see that. What pods do I have? What if I want to look at the consumer? What's running right now? 42, okay. Deployment 42 is running, that's good. Well, show me that. It's running. What about this one? Ah, it's stuck on spot. Yeah, I'm guessing there's a lot of message associated with spots. Ah, it's being shut down. Okay, cool. So that means our deployment of the new version is going. Yeah. Okay. Scaling down all the consumers. There's 4 right here. No consumers, it's all shut down. And then 43 is starting and is going to... Ooh, what's that? Oh no! Yes, of course. That was this thing. Okay. Can compare offset naive and offset aware time zones. No. All right. I'm expecting this to be... I'm expecting the incoming message from ISO format. Okay, so I think this is naive. And I'm pretty sure... Oh yes, now is... Wait, who's naive, who's aware? So sent at is naive. Okay. Let me debug that. 172. Run it, please. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm getting... Yes, okay, so the second one is naive. Second one is a minute ago. Huh! That's stupid. How could I have done that? Anyway... So that means... Right. What do I have in the API? I don't know how many times I've looked at the Python API for that time. Probably tons and tons. So can I do from ISO format? Right. Okay, so I get this. I get this. Okay. So now I just need to convert, because now is naive, right? Datetime.now, that's naive. Right, that's naive. So if I did that before, if I got the naive version before, that's because I expect that to be naive, right? Datanommer has message is going to compare, right, and it's getting the since from here, so it has to be naive. I could fix that here actually. Since equals since dot, oh wait, what if I do replace? What happens when I do replace? I know there's a replace function. Right, because here I know that message.timestamp is naive. So that's here that I must be sure that since is naive. That's my requirement here. I don't want to impose that on the function itself. This is going to handle itself. It's going to handle itself. We can just do it here, right? Nah, that's fine. Okay. And as a result, in my consumer, here, blah, 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 I can have timezone.now tz equal where's my now? It's right here. Tz equal that time dot time zone dot utc. There you go. So now the now value is aware of the time zone. So everything's going to be aware, great, fantastic, it's all good. And except when it's going to look into the database, the Datanommer database, and that's going to be converted to naive, which is what we need. Let me fix that here first. Right, and in the utils version, yeah, that's annoying. Okay. Is this gonna work? We'll see. Yeah, it seems happier. Okay, let's commit. Well, it doesn't crash at the very same place. So it's an amendment of this one. We want to fix up this commit. So rebase it, fix it up, git push force. I'm showing you exactly what you must never do. I'm actually git push forcing some code to a branch that's going to end up on the production server directly. It's terrible. It's really bad. Don't do that. But it's really a service that isn't critical at all. So yeah, it's also so broken that it doesn't really matter so much if we break it further right now, unfortunately. So that's gonna fail. Yeah, it's building. So in a few seconds, we're gonna have our consumer again. In the meantime, let us look at the queue. Yeah, it's steadily going up. That's fine, actually. We're going to be able to test whether or not we're querying Datanommer. That'd be nice. Okay. Still building. Okay. Okay. Good. So now I should see. Okay, already, yeah, they were all crashed, so that's faster. Okay. Got one result for the cache, that's all good. And on here, I'm gonna kill that container, start it again. I would like to check, no. I want to check whether I'm actually doing that or not, so that's good. I'm gonna insert something here just to make sure that my test is actually working. Okay, let's run it. Message tool not checking Datanommer. That's good. Because I'm actually processing messages that have been sent a while ago. Like there's already 2,000 messages in the queue. So no need to make an additional Datanommer query, right? Datanommer is very likely to have it. Lots of received, and then I'm stuck on a query, I suppose. Yeah. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's all good. Let's see how Datanommer is handling that load. That's here. Yeah. Yeah, those more complex queries as expected. Load is 9, that's fine. But it's a little bit big, but I guess it's okay. All this should be in the cache. But yeah, it's getting there. I think we've saved a ton of Datanommer queries right now, so that's good. Just by doing that. And it speeds up when it needs to, which is good. You see, when there's not a long Datanommer query to do, it's capable of handling 40 messages a second. While on the bus, we get somewhere around between 1 and 2 messages a second, usually, which is fine. It's not very big. Okay. I think that's a decent optimization. What else could we do to make it scale? Well, right now, I have two things on my plate to help this scale. Well, mostly one actually. One is, so the sense monitoring software we use RabbitMQ as its message bus can many hundred RPM. Yeah, I'm totally fine with the number of messages that we get on the bus. RabbitMQ is capable of handling way more than this. That's for sure. My concern would be how many messages we can process from the bus. We don't want the messages to pile up on the RabbitMQ queues, mostly for one reason, and that's because we have three servers on a cluster, and all the queues are replicated. They're high availability, which means that all the messages are replicated to all the components of the cluster. So if there's a queue that goes too high, such as, I don't know, like hundreds of thousands of messages, then that's going to take more time and more processing power to sync it through the three servers. So we don't want to have that. We want to have our queues be as low as possible. And right now what's taking the time is actually querying Datanommer. So I have two things. I have mostly one, there's one main thing that I have on my plate to optimize this. Right now the messages on Datanommer, so they're all JSON because it's only JSON that goes through our bus. And it's all stored in a text column in Datanommer. Queue is a good keyword. So full stack apps says queue is a good keyword. Monitoring queue size and queue latency is the most important tasks running. Yep. Absolutely. So I have this. All the messages are stored as text in the Datanommer database, and PostgreSQL has a JSON field. It has a JSON field where it's going to be able to store a JSON data in binary format, and then you can have an index on it, and then you can make queries inside the JSON itself. So there's a lot of rules that are actually getting way more messages than they need, so that they can pass them through a lambda function in Python that's going to filter out what they don't need. Like for example, the rule that determines whether you've built X number of packages on Fedora is going to get all the builds from your username, and then is going to go through all the messages in Python and look at the new key inside the JSON to check whether it's a failed build or a successful build or whatever. With the JSON field in PostgreSQL, we could craft a query that's going to only get the messages that we need from RabbitMQ, from Datanommer, from PostgreSQL. And as a result, we'll get less data crossing over the network, and a lot of processing is going to be done by PostgreSQL instead of done in Python. And also, I think we can leverage indexes here to make that much faster. So that's one option. The problem with that is that the reason we didn't do that at first is because some messages were too big to be stored in the JSON field. The JSON field, I think, is limited to 1 gigabyte, which is gigantic. It should be more than enough, but so I need to have a backup field, text field, for those messages that are too big or badly formatted, like the JSON doesn't pass. So I need to convert the existing text column into a JSON column. That's going to take a long time. Also, since we're going to have indexes on this column, it's going to take up more space. And we're talking about a database that is terabytes of data. So adding an index on this field, which is most of the size of the database that's in this column. So adding an index on that is going to increase the size of the database significantly, and we want our servers to be able to handle that. So I'm testing right now, I'm testing it on the staging environment. Where was it? On 4, I think? Yeah. So I have run my script that updates it, but I don't know, I've made probably a mistake somewhere, because in the database there's message raw, which is the text, and there's message JSON, which is JSON structure, and it should be one or the other. And I've seen messages that had both, so they were taking up more space that I couldn't really. But anyway, so I'm still filtering that out, and then I'll be able to compare the new size with the previous size, and hopefully that's going to tell me how much, well, how angry my sysadmin is going to be at me. That's going to probably take up way more space. Hopefully not. It's hopefully not twice, but I mean, I couldn't be sure. I don't know really what the size overhead of a JSON index is. We'll see. But that'll mean that we can make queries to Datanommer that are way more efficient than what's going on right now. And all those, like this query right now, it's doing a query on body updates, so package updates, for a user. Here it's Izelkovic, I think. Don't know if I'm saying that right. And then it's going to pass all the messages through a Python function to identify if, like, for example, whether the build, what's the +1 and -1 that the build got, etc. Or we could all get that from the JSON field. That's my main optimization, my main possible optimization for this. And also rework a little bit how the rules are created, so that we don't have this pattern of getting a ton of messages and passing them through a Python function. So I'm gonna have to update the rules to take advantage of this. So there's that. What else? Yeah, so we're going to move the Datanommer server to a new server that's more powerful, more recent software as well. So hopefully that's going to go faster. And we are, yeah, also there's caching right now, and most of the requests, the Datanommer queries here are cached for, I think they're cached for a week, if I remember correctly. But it could be way more than this, because we're looking at history data actually. So I'm pretty sure that the amount of messages that look like something like that are coming from, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that the messages that have been sent in 2022 didn't change from the last run to now. So I could have a way more aggressive cache that could pretty much be like pre-computed data, actually, like more than a query's results cached into Redis, but more like pre-computed data that would never expire. I could do that. I could have the cache never expire, actually. Because new messages that are coming in are added to the cache itself. So that could work. But I want to play it safe and have some sort of expiration date. Having it set to a week seems short right now because it's working. It seemed right before when I was developing it, because yeah, I didn't want to have to wait for a week for some data to expire, even though I could log in into Redis, of course, and set the thing. But right, so there's ways to optimize this. All of them require a lot of processing in Datanommer. So yeah, that's gonna have to wait for a while. All right. Yeah, it's all blocked on something. You see, this one is looking at all the body updates forever. That makes no sense to make such a big query. It's just too big. Anyway, all right. Like all the messages about a body update comment. That's gigantic. We're talking hundreds of thousands of messages, if not millions. It's probably not millions, but probably hundreds of thousands. Yeah. This is the sort of thing that proves that the system was designed 10 years ago when the number of messages that have gone through the bus was way lower. Right now, it's not practical anymore. We need to optimize things. We need to rethink a little bit of how the queries are made. For example, I could break down the queries into one query per year, for example. Instead of making one gigantic query, I could make one query per year and cache the previous year way more aggressively than the current year. Like cache it forever, for example. That'd be fine. Cache it forever and only make the query for the current year. This one, since we're still going to make changes to it, well, we can, keep it. I could do something like this, actually. Maybe it's not crazy. How would it look code-wise? Because right now, the cached queries for Datanommer, I could add time boundaries to them. I could try to do something like this. Well, that's wrong. Wait, what? Well, that's certainly wrong. Yeah, that's not good. So this is a caching, a function cache that works for rules that want to get a topic, count. Yeah, so it matches. The isApplicable is the function that tests whether this cache system matches the incoming message. So it only matches if the operation is count, right? Right. So I shouldn't need to have a full append system here. I could have just this, just the same thing. Actually, I could do that. I could change my append. Where am I? I'm here. Good. My append message thing. Wait, what? Wait, what? Right. That's result. And I want to return total messages equal results. Okay, that's my result. Return total plus 1 and, well, none. Because I don't care about the list of messages when I'm looking at only the count, right? That is my append message function, which means that I can move that and say self.append message. Cool. And it means that here I'm going to just keep it identical. I think that's more correct. I want to get this thing right on this algorithm right on the caching, because if I get it wrong, then I'm gonna have wrong stuff in the cache, and if I don't want to have them expire, then that's gonna be a pain. Anyway, so what I had previously worked as well, right? But it's going to put more stuff in the cache than necessary. Okay. So I could optimize stuff here by making a very long, or breaking down the queries to Datanommer into smaller queries that are time bound, that have a start and an end. For that, I'll need to know what is the first message. I can ask that to Datanommer, I suppose. But, can I really ask that to Datanommer? You know what? I'm gonna make a break because I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Right, so where was I? Hello. Yeah, I was saying that what I could do to optimize the queries would be to break down the Datanommer queries into one query per year and then cache them more aggressively if it's from a previous year. I could totally do that. Let us see whether Datanommer is okay to give me the date of the first message, which can be cached very aggressively, because that's never going to change. Yeah, so for that, I'm going to look into the Datanommer code. Oh, nice! And there's still a place that is not covered, but I'll look at that later. Or maybe should I look at that now? Don't rabbit hole, don't rabbit hole. Nah. What line was that? 43? Yeah. Yeah, of course, that's a new thing that I've just changed. Sorry, let me just fix that before I forget about it. That's here. No. Oh yeah, that's just not on the right screen. Sorry about that. Now message to populate. I want to test that. Okay. I suppose I can monkey patch thing. And because my populate JSON thing here is going to make an execute call, right? Right, it's going to make several of them actually. Yes, so I can monkey patch that and test it. Okay. Oh, yes. Or I can just do this. m.session.execute.assert called not called. Right. And I want to check this function. So I'm going to run that. This. Okay, let it run for now. And I want to check what I have as an API in this. So here I can grep messages, that is fine. But where is it? Grep, right. Order. What's order? Contains user message ID order. Rows per page, page 1, start and end. Okay, so what's order? Right. I could make a grep call with order equal what's that, desk, maybe? And then have because it's going to run a total. I don't care about the total. I know that's going to be 1. Okay, so I want to have a way to query to get the first message for a query. There's no way to do that currently. Because, yeah, I can make this complex query, but it's always going to run the total function. And I don't really need that if I want to know which one is the first one. Now, and it needs to stay ask because I want the first one, but can I say, okay, I want to have page 1, I want to have 1 row per page. Would that work? It's gonna run this function anyway. That's not awesome. That's not great. What's page here? Page is the page number, right? Yes. So if I say defer equal true, I could do something like no page That's definitely not optimum. Or I could factor all this filtering thing, all this filtering logic, I could factor it out to a different function. Maybe that's better. It will make the query, and then here, yeah, there's a logic to it. There's a logic to it. I think that would probably be preferable. Oh, wait, what? Did I make a mistake somewhere in my tests? Oh yes. Well, that's definitely not going to be this. That's definitely going to be necessary. Do it again. Okay. Yes, I can improve that API by factoring that out. That's a class method. Wow, that's it's gonna be complex. I mean, it's gonna be quite complex. I do not like all the repeating ourselves side of things. See what I could do? I could do a query. Could just call it query. Should I call it query? Yeah, probably. Or make query. Just query. So I don't care about page here. And I would return the query itself. No pagination, no order, no defer, just that. That doesn't exist. Okay. Which means I make this query. And here I have all these keywords. Sorry. Allergy season is starting. It's gonna be fun. I'm going to enforce keywords starting from here. Sorry for changing the API, but that's much better. Not going to repeat all of them, definitely not. And I'm going to say query equal cls.query all the keywords that are passed down to this function. Then I'm getting the pagination thing. Okay. Well, message is wrong. All right, it's not entirely wrong, but that's still leaves to be improved. Yeah, that's actually CLS, but that's fine. Is it the only instance? Yes. Or yeah, that's fine. Query. Okay. All this should be identical, which means should actually copy this docstring, but it's not great, but which means that I can do maybe a get one or get first maybe. So no pagination, no rows per page, no deferring, but same query. No total, I don't care about that. The ordering I keep, because I have this order thing here. And then I just execute it. And I get the first one. Return this. Return session.scalars.query.first. That's pretty good, right? I could add that to the API. And then I could get that from fedbadges, get this information, store it in the cache, and build queries that are one per year. And if the year is not the current year, then cache it aggressively, because I don't expect it to change ever. And I don't want to, I mean, there's not a lot of risk, unless the format changes, but there's not a lot of risk otherwise. Yeah, and that's going to also put smaller things in the database, in the Redis database. Maybe that's better. Well, it's very interesting, and I should explore that. But I think I'm going to stop there. No message to popular. Oh yeah, there's a new line. Pretty sure that's a new line missing. How about that now? Okay, and now my query is here. Yeah, that's still blocked by a gigantic query. I'm gonna do that first and not wait for all the messages to go through. Anyway. Okay. And now what I would be able to do is in fedbadges, not in here, in fedbadges. Okay, that's the grep call. I could add a start and end. I know, yeah, I could add start and end. So how should I do this? So I could say that what's run query? Run query is where it's defined. That's in compute, right? It's not used anywhere else? It's not used anywhere else. Okay, so in compute, I could say that if start in kwargs, or, well, I mean, it could be there and be none, right? So I need to, yeah, start and end could be there and none. So if is not none, or kwargs dot get end is not none. So if there is something so if I have specified that I want to start and end, then I'm going to just run it basically, right? Else, I'm going to split it into year return self.year split query. And here, that's going to be my business to cache the things and reassemble them. So that's going to be cached as well. Actually, yeah. First, no. What's that? What's my new function? It's get first, right? Yes, it's get first. So the creator is actually message.getFirst. And keywords are, yeah, keywords are going to be the grep keywords. So I'm going to run get first, message.getFirst with all the keywords arguments that I have specified. Why is this not okay? Or did I make a mistake? Oh, yes. 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 Okay. And that gets me the first, that gets me the first message actually. Nice try, nice try. Nice try. Okay, so my first message might be none. So I want to store the timestamp, but I might be storing none if it's none already. So the creator is going to be get first. The args are going to be my grep args, that's fine. So if I do this, I'm going to get, oh yes, and my expiration date, that's going to be much higher. Okay, so what do I have? Expiration time? Virtually forever. So if I do this, like store that for, I don't know, like a year or something. Maybe a year. That's seconds, right? So that's gonna be very long expiration time. Very long expiration time. Okay, that might work. Okay, so I'm getting the first one. That's not gonna be first message, but first message timestamp. So that first message timestamp. Grab keywords. Done. That's gonna make use of the cache. All good. Then, okay. Oh yes, if first timestamp is none, then what do? I return 0 and empty string, I suppose. An empty list, I suppose. It should be the same API as run query right here. So else sorry, I'm going to look up the Python range function. It's kind of shameful, but that's not how I use it usually. So I would like to... You crazy? Why don't you get me? It's a built-in function. It's somewhere here. I thought that a search engine would give me that faster, but it doesn't. Range. So, start, stop, and step. Perfect. Okay, today is datetime.date.today. Right. Range of first timestamp.year, today.year plus 1, I suppose. Oh yeah, or today.year, and then I don't put an end. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have to aggregate the results here, right? Today.year. So that's gonna be, say I want, am I going to hit on the last one? Huh. Okay. So it's strictly inferior to stop. So it's going to not reach to this year, which is fine. Okay, so now I want to make an aggressive cache of that year. So total messages or query equal self.run query. Well, no, I want the caching. So my key is going to be base key is this. Key is going to be base key and the year. Okay. So I want to get from the cache or call self.run query. Right. Args are going to be grep kw args dot copy dot update. Well, no, update returns nothing, right? Args start is going to be, is that a timestamp? I think it's a timestamp, right? It's probably timestamp. Does it have to be naive? Oh no, painful, painful. Oh, okay. I need start and okay, fine. Because it runs between. Okay, got it. That's okay. Start is going to be first timestamp, of course. Args end is going to be datetime dot datetime it's exclusive, right? So I could say year equal year plus 1, month is 1, day is 1, hour 0, minute 0, second 0. Okay, first day of the next year. between now and first day of the next year. That's good. So I'm calling it with my args. And the expiration time can be extremely long. That is fine. And I can actually results.append total messages or query. Right, I can append that to my results. And now there's going to be one more call. This time it's going to be normally cached, I should say, or like just the regular one. No specification on the sorry, I'll be back. I realize that it's actually quite late here, so I don't think I'm gonna keep going much longer. I wanted just to finish this. So oh yes, that's obviously wrong. Oh no. So that's obviously wrong. It's gonna just making bigger and bigger queries over and over again. That's so let me start. Let me try that again. My args are going to be a copy of the existing arg. Okay, I set the start right as first timestamp. Or I'm crafty. Yeah. I'm gonna start at the end. I'm gonna start at the end of the last loop. That's what I want. So I set the end of the last loop as initial value to be my first value. It's not awesome. It's not great, but it's gonna work. Okay, hopefully that's gonna be understandable by somebody, maybe even me, a few months later. End is this, okay. And now that we've finished this loop, start is args of end again, And I need to set something for args. Actually, I'm just going to do it to include it in the loop, right? Because I don't want to be doing the same thing and repeating myself over and over again. I hate that, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Expiration time is equal to very long expiration if year is not today.year, else none. So here I have my expiration time. Okay, so that's all in the loop. Now I have my results. Yes. And now I'm gonna concatenate my results, right? Sum of for error in results. That's the total. And chain? No. Okay. Chain maybe, or list of chain. Iter tools. Let me check that before I make a big mistake. Iter tools, I suppose that would be the most appropriate one. Okay. Right, that's the one that I want. Okay. Chain.from iterable. Well, right. Oh, it's not exactly that because I want to account for non-values. Let me do that differently. Total is this, right? That's the total. If set of if I only have non-values, well, if I have a non-value, if I have a non-value in there, then I'm just going to use none. Else, basically the chain. Chain dot from, oh yes, I didn't import it. From iterable. Oh, wait. Haha, even better. Well, no, not really. A1 for R in results. So that's all the write all the messages or query thingy. Why is it unhappy? Return okay, that might be it. That might be it. So if there's, right? So yeah, split query. Okay, so then I loop over all the years, get a key different for each year, starts at the end of last call, which is last run. Oh, that's wrong. Sorry. Start is the last end is beginning of next year. Expiration date is very long if it's not this year, otherwise it's normal. And I store these results. Then I sum all the totals. I'm curious whether that would work actually. It seems vaguely correct from my point of view right now. Much more complex than it was before, but I mean, I'm trying to optimize things, so it becomes inevitably more complex than when it's extremely naive and expect everything to work. Okay, it's almost 7 here, so I'm gonna stop. And maybe you'll see next week whether it worked or not. We'll see. All right, it was a pleasure having you here, and I'm gonna stop the stream right now. See you next time. Have fun, people. Yes, I'll be there next Friday. It should be all right. All right, see you, folks.